talking about underneath here our own trust issue with the community. And I am sure that at the best of intentions of the Corps and the engineering firm that I hire is that they would design what they think is the best for us. But that might not be exactly what we want, or what we can afford, or what the community wants for reasons other than just this is the best deal. There may be reasons and concerns of how do you spread that 20 or 30 per year out over a period of time. And the community might be concerned to say, we want phasing so that you're guaranteeing to us that you're not going to turn this place into Los Angeles in 2 years. And that's a political and a local issue that is not necessarily of concern to the design firm unless we tell them that. And I think that's where we have to maintain the trust with the community and say, this is the kind of process we want. And we probably only get that ultimate trust with hiring a third party that advises us about what the community is saying, what we're saying, and is that what we're really getting. So I would be willing to go with the idea that we have some kind of outside assistance or advice to us on the thing.
What does that do to ACE? How does that confuse your direction or conversation?
No. What I'm walking away in my mind at least is to make sure that the scope of work that ACE develops with their consultant covers the points that have been mentioned earlier, so that whatever outside expert peer review wants to look at, they've addressed those exact points. So there's not going to be a lot of iteration back and forth. Right. And to me, it's part of a.
But that's where I think we need to fairly early on. We're early on, either through some workshops or discussion here, set those points between us.
Right.
And between us and whether we have an outside facilitator help on that, because an outside facilitator might say that's wonderful, but it doesn't make financial sense to do that, and give us that aspect. But anyhow, I think that's where we sit down and we do our workshops on specific issues and do them in sections so that we can put the things together so that ACE has a clear understanding of what we want and what they will develop for us.
Director McKinnon, you okay with that?
Sure.
Good.
Counsel's going to be happy if we get off the subject.
Well, I know he's squirming over there. What we have, I haven't heard Director Chaldecott chime in, so I assume he's okay with.
Well, over the last 15 years, I've even noticed these discussions before. And I hope I don't hear them again because I get
deja vu all over
again. Yeah.
Yogi Berra would say. Well, what I sense is we have a consensus from the board here in terms of direction to this to pull together lists of the financial consultants that are available and possibly some engineers that might be able to help us in terms of the issues we've been talking about, and then have an ad hoc committee composed of Directors Clift and D'Amico kind of oversee the process of getting a recommendation to the board in terms of whether or not to hire anybody and so on.
Well, again, given the limits of what's on the agenda, it might be more appropriate to just have staff come back with something for the next agenda that would enable the board to give more clear direction as far as taking action in that regard.
I don't want to do it that way. What I want to do is get something going now, and I don't detect any violation of the Brown Act in terms of giving a consensus of the board to the staff to get busy on this right away. We're not making any decisions. We're simply setting up a process that will eventually lead to a decision. Board members, are you okay with that?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
We're just setting up to engage at possibly the next meeting.